at MIT Sloan. We're excited to have you join us today for this Google Hangout with the members of the Hispanic Business Club and the Black Business Club, of the Black Business Association. We're here to talk today to highlight some of the diverse natures of MIT Sloan, let you know about the Diversity Weekend that happened last week and some highlights from it, and let you just ask any questions you might have about MIT Sloan and what's going on here. So to start, like I said, I'm Jeff Carboni from the admissions office, and I'd just like each of the students that are here to let us know a bit about yourselves, where you're coming from, what you're doing here at Sloan, and what you did over the summer, and if you've got a job already, that's great, let us know. So Damien, why don't you start?
Cool. Well, my name is Damien. I'm a 2015 MBA candidate. Prior to Sloan, I was working in not-for-profit higher ed, doing consultancy work, primarily focusing on financial planning, operational efficiency. During my time here at Sloan, I've been focused on the enterprise management track, so just general strategy, operations, marketing, all the works. For the summer, I joined the strategy team, the corporate strategy team at Walmart, and I'm planning to go back to that.
Great, thanks. Kim?
Hi everyone, I'm Kim Hill. I'm a second-year MBA student as well, and prior to Sloan, I was working in operations at an investment bank, covering energy and commodities clients on the derivatives side. And I did that for 3 years and then came to Sloan. I did my summer in investment banking at Credit Suisse, and I also am going to go back after graduation.
Great, thanks. And Claudia?
Hi, I'm Sarah Gutierrez. Before Sloan, I worked at Raytheon in defense. So I worked in process engineering, and then now that I'm here at Sloan, I'm focusing in enterprise management and operations. And this past summer, I spent it at Amazon in a corporate operations role as a senior program manager. And for full-time, I'm considering going back to Amazon.
Great, thank you, Sarah. So, funny story, I went to school with a girl named Claudia Gutierrez, and you guys look actually very similar, and I'll send you a picture later. And I do know you, Sarah, and I have Sarah written in front of the paper in front of me, but I still love you, Claudia, and I apologize for that. So we'll take it from there. So, thanks for everyone who's joining the Google Hangout today. I encourage you to ask questions, anything that you might want to know about what's going on at MIT Sloan, the benefits to studying here, and then, anything you want. So please ask questions, and we'll periodically stop and answer them for you. But if someone wants to take a stab at letting us know what happened last weekend for Diversity Weekend, for those of the people on the Hangout that weren't able to join us, if one of you or two of you want to just summarize, all three of you for that matter, just let us know what you think. And one of you, why don't you start with Kim?
Okay, so just to give you a recap, Diversity Weekend is something that was organized by the Sloan Admissions Office. Jeff was heavily involved. We couldn't have done it without him, as well as our clubs, so the Hispanic Business Club, Black Business Students Association, and Africa Business Club collaborated, along with Sloan Student Life Office, to put on a 2-day event for interested students or prospective students. And the Thursday night events began with like a reception where prospectives could meet current students and faculty and staff. And then there was the Diversity C function hosted by our 3 clubs, which was a very fun event. Basically a party with cultural exhibits. So there was a dance, a rap battle, fashion show, drinks and food, and everyone just had a really general good time, and it was a great way for the prospectives to get to know current students in a relaxed atmosphere. And then the next day was a full day of classroom experiences and panel discussions about the different programs we have here at Sloan, like Action Learning or the dual degree program. There was a mock class. So we had about 60 prospective students, and everyone really enjoyed the day, and it was just a way for people to get more connected to the Sloan community and to kind of really experience what it would be like to be a student here.
Great, and didn't something exciting happen during one of the dances at Diversity Weekend, at the C function?
Yeah, so I led the step show during the C function, and the Thursday night event, and I dislocated my kneecap. I was having so much fun at the C function, but definitely everyone there was really supportive and enjoyed it. And it was a great event. People didn't want to leave, and I definitely didn't want to leave either. But I had to go like take care of my knee. So if you missed out, I'm sure it's on YouTube somewhere.
I was actually asking people if I could. I wasn't able to join Diversity Weekend this year. I was away in San Francisco at a conference, but I was actually asking people if there was a YouTube so I could catch you hurting your knee doing.
I know. I was so that's all I could think about. Would I be a YouTube sensation?
Let's hope so. Damien or Sarah? Either one of you, do you guys have anything you want to let us know about that happened over Diversity Weekend?
Sure. Well, all in all, I think it was a very enriching experience for both current Sloanies and prospective Sloanies. It was a great way to get to meet each other and just talk about what motivates them to come to business school, what's motivating us towards our future goals, and just share those experiences here at Sloan.
Great. Sarah, any highlights for you?
Yeah, I'll echo that. It was great meeting prospective students and giving our perspective on our experience here at Sloan and what actually led us here, what we plan to do after, and how Sloan is helping us get there.
Great. We did have one question come in, and that was, what do you think is the most difficult thing about being a MIT Sloan student?
I can take this one. For me, it's just, I find Sloan to be very inspirational. Like your classmates have come from all over the world and have had their hands in everything from finance to entrepreneurship to policy. And at Sloan, it's not going to be any different. People are, again, in everything. And I feel that it's hard to kind of always calibrate yourself to reminding yourself about why you came to Sloan versus all the opportunities and new things that you can be a part of once you get here. So I think the most difficult part is figuring out what you want to do and how you're going to make the most of this time that you have, because the 2 years or 1 year for some students goes very quickly.
Yeah, I would definitely echo that. I think that the hardest part of being here is to say no. No to all the great things that are going on in campus, and then just target very specific things, because you only have 24 hours in a day and you need to sleep in order to be present at class, right? So I think that's the hardest part.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. Scheduling is sometimes a challenge because you have so many things that you want to do, a lot of things you want to participate in, but they're overlapping, so you kind of have to pick what you want to focus on and just focus on that.
Great. What about something that has surprised you about MIT Sloan?
It might be...
Go ahead.
Okay, thanks. Might be kind of cliche, but just definitely how collaborative the culture is here. One of my concerns about applying to business school and going to business school in general was that there would be, a lot of sharp elbows amongst the class, because, what happens when you put a group of highly motivated, competitive people in the same environment, and you would think that you might be kind of trampling over each other, which is definitely not the experience here. And at Sloan, I was actually very surprised to find out how willing your classmates are to even sit down to talk to you about the most random things or the most random experiences that they've had, and to give you tips, and in turn you can do that as well. You never think of yourself as an expert, but you realize everyone has their own strengths that they bring to the table.
Damien, do you want to... Sorry.
Sure. Sorry, Sarah. So one thing, I definitely agree with what Kim just said, but another thing that really strikes me is how a very diverse mix of experiences merge here. And once you're in here, everybody's sort of very open to talk about their experiences. So whatever you want to do in the future, there's probably a classmate that has already done it. So you can go and talk to him, whether it's in your class or in the higher class, and that really helps you sort of explore and funnel down the possibilities of all the things that might interest you, and just you're feeling willing to explore.
Yeah, I think for me, what surprised me the most it also has to do with how diverse people's backgrounds are, but in how you can learn so much from everyone. For example, during the core, the first semester, when you have a core team, everyone brings in different backgrounds and skills that they have, and we all complemented each other so well, so we were able to leverage other people's skills to help us learn and to really enrich our experience.
Great. Another question just came in. How, as a student, how do you think Sloan views diversity, or MIT?
Sure, I can take that. Don't pile on. I think Sloan is a very inclusive, diverse place to be. However, you don't feel any kind of differentiation. So you're on equal basis with the rest of your peers. I don't feel myself any different in any way from the rest of my peers, which is very cool because as we've discussed earlier, it's all about what people bring into the table and how you can make the best out of that. So that's my take.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting that you say it that way, but it's definitely true. I think Sloan pretty much strikes the right balance between making everyone feel like they're on the same playing field, or that everyone is coming from the same place. But we also really celebrate each other's differences as well, whether it be through the C functions or like different study tours or just in class. Like people are from all over the world, so have different perspectives when they're speaking, and I think the conversation is what really matters most to Sloan, and it's, are we having engaging dialogue? Are we hearing voices that sometimes aren't heard often, and are we getting good feedback, and are we generating good ideas off of that? So it is interesting that you say that you feel that you're not different from everyone, but also I think we do take time to celebrate each other's differences at the same time.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, diversity is not only something that we like here at Sloan, but we even try to learn more about each other's cultures, even in the curriculum when we talk about understanding different cultures, and then things like study tours that Kim mentioned. So we definitely not only welcome diversity, but even try to learn more and see how we can work with people from different backgrounds and learn more about that.
Great. Another question that just came in is, when you were weighing your options for MBA programs, what about Sloan sealed the deal for you? And since you've been at Sloan, how has that impression developed? And has it come to fruition?
Cool. I'll take the first stab of that. There were two very key elements for me to decide to come to Sloan. First was a sense of community. When I came here for the admin weekend, I felt that everybody was genuinely nice, and everybody wanted to collaborate and help out people and make an impact in the world. So that was very important for me. And the second thing I found very interesting about Sloan was action learning. So I think it's a very unique future. You can definitely get involved in different action learning projects through your whole 4 semesters here at Sloan, talking about the MBA program. On the first semester, you can take EM Lab, and then consequently there's China, India Lab, G Lab, L Lab, a whole bunch of opportunities to go and have an impact on the world, and on top of that, learn a lot about that and learn about your classmates and collaborate and work on producing something that's going to benefit society.
Yeah. What initially attracted me to Sloan and MIT in general were its relationships with the energy industry. So Sloan has a huge is a huge part of the MIT Energy Initiative, and for me, that's what my area of expertise is, and that's what I'm passionate about. And I'm going into energy finance, and I thought that Sloan was not only a financial powerhouse, but I think a lot of people here are very interested in energy, and there would be a lot of opportunities for collaboration about finance, entrepreneurship, social enterprise, that type of thing. So, and it's definitely played out that way. I'm in an energy class now called Strategic Opportunities in Energy, in which we create a business model based off of an opportunity that we find in the energy sector, and ours is like distributed battery power. So I think if you want to get involved in things like that, it's definitely a place. That Sloan is definitely a place for that, and I couldn't imagine how immersive the experience is, but it's lived up to all of my expectations far and away.
Yeah, I think for me, the thing I was most excited about was all the hands-on opportunities that there are. Like Damien mentioned, the action learning labs, that was a really big component that I was looking forward to, especially since I'm switching from engineering to operations. It was really great having that opportunity to get involved, get some experience in that before going into an internship and full-time. And there's also opportunities to get involved with startups and with other different projects across campus. So I think there's plenty of opportunities to get some real-world experience before going on to your internship.
Great. Did Kim, I believe you mentioned that diversity was in a variety of ways, but through study tours and treks. Can either any of you or all three of you speak? Have you done a study tour? Have you done a trek? I know, Damon, you mentioned action learning, but maybe
I could
tell us what a study tour versus a trek is, and go from there.
I can take that. So just to define study tour versus trek. A study tour is where you have a class or seminar during the semester about a certain topic. So last year, one of the main study tours was the Israel study tour, in which the students gathered different perspectives on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, and they talked about it in class, met with different politicians and lecturers, and then actually went to Israel to experience things firsthand, meet people, and do further talks. A trek can be both for career reasons, like if you go to another country and visit companies there, that's one type of trek, and then there's also like the just for fun trek. So I did the Japan trek last year, which is a just for fun trek, where you basically have 115 Sloanies going for 10 days throughout Japan, traveling together to multiple cities, having different experiences, and actually it was one of the best times that I've had at Sloan so far. And it was actually interesting because throughout the core semester you get really close with your core team and the people in your ocean, and then whoever you're recruiting with, you get close to those people, and then on the Japan trek it was like a completely different set of Sloanies, and it was just another dimension of experiencing the Sloan community. We had some great memories, whether it be like people bathing in a volcanic hot spring together, and you're just like, wow, we're really close right now. And then you just see them around at Sloan, and you're like, oh, I remember this time in Osaka and whatnot. And then I think it was really great for us to just immerse ourselves in a culture that is for a lot of people new. And then it was really great to see and these were totally student organized things, so it was very interesting to see the power of like how the Japanese students organized everything for us, and a lot of the effort that they put in to making the trip successful. We were very appreciative of that. So definitely do a trek or a study tour. It's a great experience.
Anyone else do a trek or study tour?
I actually got the opportunity to go on the LGO plant tour. Even though I'm not part of the LGO program, I got the opportunity to join them since I'm focused on operations. And
what the LGO program is, just so.
Yeah, sure. The LGO program is a dual degree MBA and MS in engineering. And there's about 50 people in the program, and they are as much part of our of Sloan with us doing our MBA as they are the School of Engineering. And they are mostly focused on operations. So the plant tour was focused on going to a bunch of different partner companies looking to hire LGO or MBA students. And we got to tour their facilities. We got to talk to their senior leaders, VPs, presidents, directors. It was a great opportunity not only to bond with other students on the track, as Kim mentioned, but also to network with those companies and their recruiters before going into interviews and recruiting. And it was really great. We spent 2 weeks going all around the U.S. To different companies and ended up in Puerto Rico for one of the companies.
Very nice. And that was was that in January?
It was in January, yes.
Puerto Rico in January is not too bad. Great. What about anyone else do any action learning labs that you want to talk about?
Sure. I've taken 2 action learning labs. Well, I took one on my first semester, EM track. I got the opportunity to work with a Silicon Valley company, consumer goods, and it was pretty exciting. I think helping them out craft their strategy and how they would address a certain market was a very eye-opening experience, especially for someone that has not worked in the U.S. like I have. Having all my working experience in Mexico, I could feel the different ways of how people communicate and just facilitate projects in a very different cultural context. The second one, I'm actually taking it right now. It's a leadership lab. I get to fly to Morocco to work with a company that's trying to be more sustainable, more friendly with the environment, and improve their business practices. We're still crafting the details of the scope of the whole project, but we think it's going to be a very exciting opportunity to both keep on learning about a new culture and to just travel and experience different places that I haven't.
Great, great. So, what would you say is your favorite thing about Sloan so far?
I'll take that. The people. The people here, really friendly people, as I said, genuinely nice people. People that are interested in changing the world and helping you out so you can also change the world.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with Damien. I was going to say the E62 cafeteria is a great place to just sit and meet people, or, I mean, as you're working on different projects or having meetings with your core team or different teams that you're working on, like, you can't sit in the cafeteria without seeing people that you either know and you have these amazing conversations about anything, like widespread topics seemingly randomly, or you'd be able to meet a lot of different people that you might not know. So definitely the people are what I like most about Sloan. While we might talk about, we may have a diversity of opinion on things, there's always just lively, stimulating conversation going on.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with both of them. The people are really great. It's amazing how after just 1 week of orientation, it seems like everyone's been friends forever. And everyone really has that collaborative spirit, and everyone is just willing to get together to solve problems. People have ideas, and they're just willing, they're very eager to go out there and solve those problems and change the world.
Great. Another question: if I wasn't able to make it to Diversity Weekend, is there another? Are you having another one, or is there another opportunity to visit campus?
I know Diversity Weekend is an annual thing, so that's definitely happening. But then I also know that we're going to be having a few events, maybe like community service events that are open to the wider community. And then I do know that there's the admissions ambassador program where people can come and visit Sloan on a regular basis, meet current students, and attend a class to see what it would actually be like to be a student here.
The ambassadors program that Kim mentioned happens Monday through Thursdays in the fall and 2 days a week in the spring, but it's a 10 a.m. or a 1 p.m. class with lunch with current students and a small information session by admission. So you can sign up for that online through the ambassadors program section of our website. So that's a great way to visit. Also check out our website because we do travel around the globe often and host events in various cities. We're at a lot of conferences as well, so keep an eye out. Keep an eye out on our website is the best thing to do. Any other questions?
Yes. Before you move on, I would also like to add that find a Sloaney that's a current student. I'm pretty sure whoever you reach out, they will be more than glad to talk to you over the phone, meet if you're here in the Boston area. Sloanies are very open, and we really want to talk to like all the prospect students and get the best people to come here at Sloan.
Great. And you can go to the club's websites too and find out the club leadership email addresses. So you can email the clubs directly that interests you. Also, you might want to take a look at the conferences that are going on at Sloan, at MIT and MIT Sloan, because you can sort of plan a visit around when there's a topic that might interest you and also try and attend the conference. It's a great way to get more exposure to MIT Sloan and the wider MIT network. That said, have any of you taken advantage of the wider MIT network, not just the Sloan atmosphere, but I know a lot of students at Sloan get involved with the greater MIT community. Have any of you done that, and can you speak to that?
I have. A little bit, I have. So I was walking down the Infinite Corridor one day last fall, or late in the fall, and there was someone asking for signatures for a petition, and it was centered around like fossil fuels and energy and that type of thing. And we actually just started a conversation, and I got involved with an organization based at wider MIT campus. So it's really easy to kind of get involved. Like this was a total random chance meeting, and turns out like people across the campus have a lot of similar interests, but we all have different approaches as to how to tackle some of the issues that we're interested in. And so it's very easy to get involved with clubs at the rest of MIT, as well as I know a lot of our classmates participate in the hackathons, and this past weekend was Hacking Arts, so where students from Sloan, engineering students at MIT get together to address problems or address opportunities in the arts and entertainment industry, and there's hackathons for like healthcare, education, energy, so those are kind of regular events that allow Sloanies to get more plugged in with MIT in general. Also, I know students can also cross-register for classes at any of the other Sloan schools. I mean, any of the other MIT schools. So I know there's a lot of students that take advantage of that as well. I don't know if any of you did that. And then join clubs and organizations. A lot of people with the Entrepreneurship Center, they work on startups with teams from other schools at MIT, as well as taking advantage of the Media Lab and doing research there, taking classes there. Any of you three have anything else to add about that? If not, there's one more question. Good to go. Thumbs up. Awesome. So this question is tough. We always get this one on the road too. Is there anything that you've been disappointed with at Sloan, and is there anything you wish were different? So. What would you change if you could change something? The one thing I'm going to say quickly, Well, the one thing I'm going to say quickly is that the students have a really strong voice at MIT Sloan, and if there are issues or things that want to be changed, there's a Dean's Advisory Committee, their voices are heard, and things can really be changed quite quickly if there is something to be changed. But sorry, Sarah, take it away.
I think for me, the most disappointing thing is that I'm graduating already this year. I mean, I feel like there's so many things to do and lots of experiences. And I just wish I had more time to be here and to be able to get involved in even more things.
Great.
For me, I will say there is one thing that I would change about Sloan, and I would say that there are so many wonderful things going on, and the students accomplish so much, and with the help of faculty and staff, that I think sometimes Sloan is really underplayed in terms of people knowing about everything that goes on here. And I think we should just not to like brag, but I mean to make sure that people are aware of all the things that are going on at school. Because it really is a place where you can take an idea, and there's this culture of if you think it, you can do it. It's very encouraging, and I think people should know about these type of things.
Yeah, I would definitely echo Kim. I think this is a very humble school, and not to go to the extreme of bragging, but just communicating better all the stuff that is going on can be a very nice thing to have out there.
Okay, great. Well, there's not many more questions now, so like we said, if you ever have questions, feel free to email some of the clubs, email admissions@sloan.mit.edu. Keep an eye on our website for events that might be in your area. Come visit campus anytime you'd like. We have the different visit days. It's best to come to campus when school's in session, because then you get to see what it's really like here. You get to talk to a lot of students. I know a lot of people like to come over holidays and breaks, but that might not be the most ideal time. If that's the only time you can come, we understand. Shoot at the admissions office an email, and hopefully some staff will be around to meet you, or we can try and facilitate something. But it is best to come when the students are here and when classes are in session. That's for sure. Any parting words that you'd like to give before we sign out? And that gives anyone last-minute questions to type in if they have any. But let's go down. Any parting words?
Well, just all in all, we're happy that you guys are interested in coming to Sloan. We would definitely love to have a chat with you guys. If you want to, just shoot us an email, and we can get together and just talk about your interests.
Kim?
Yeah, I would say apply. Apply to Sloan. Those are the parting words of advice that I have.
Okay. Sarah?
Yeah, I'd say, again, feel free to reach out to us, the Hispanic Business Club officers. We would be glad to answer any questions you might have, and I'm sure the same goes for BBSA.
Great. So a huge thanks to Damien, Kim, and Sarah. We really appreciate it. It's been great chatting, and if you guys have questions, please reach out, admissions or the different clubs and organizations. We look forward to hearing from you. Okay? Thanks a lot. Bye.